Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now we're going to pack it up in here. I know you're saying, well, King, you know, you're a little late. Yeah. Little late. But, don't worry. Hold on. Welcome back to Xbox Frontline. Mute that. All right. Now let me share this out because I gotta do my sharing out thing. You know how that goes. So as I'm sharing it out, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about today. Like some stuff like I was reflecting on some stuff that I was doing today. I got a chance to build with a couple of like-minded individuals on something. My wife asked me a question last night, and I didn't quite have the answer for her, you know. Hold on. Didn't quite have the answer. Blessings, people. Blessings. Everybody packing in. I'm sharing it out. If you want to help me share it out. That'll be a blessing. That'll be good. I think it's something that's going to go crazy. I had a question, right? All right. So what I'm going to start doing for members, I'm going to start doing live reactions to albums. And I didn't hear the Clips album. So I'm going to for members, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the live reaction and give y'all another wrinkle of what I do. Right? What I do, what other people don't do or feel that they don't need to do, because I don't think they need to feel that they need to give back to you or something like that. Like they take you for granted. And that's just not where I'm at with it, right? Where I'm at with it is not that. But so check it. Like very early on, before I didn't even get to the intro yet. So I'm gonna get to the intro after we pack it in here a little bit. After we pack it in here a little bit, when we get to around 60 people, then I'm gonna wave that flag. I'm gonna let them know what we represent. I'm gonna give y'all the best intro in the business. Dudes try to copy, but they sloppy. Their style is weak. They can't compete. So I just look at them and understand exactly where they at. And I place them there and I say, God bless, it's good because you need to try. But understand, if I ever see competition, I'm going, I got some stuff that we working on that's sickening. I got stuff done. All right. I got the last work of one of my dearest friends. He did a beat for me. And this beat was something I had challenged him to do because Drumstar, shout out to Drumstar, sleep in peace, God. He was the youngest, most talented producer I've ever worked with. So if you ever hear any of these beats, those beats are his beats, right? Except for this last beat that you hear, that's Wonton Soup. But if you hear the Fight Night Combat Talk with the King, bro, he did his thing. So anyway, he has a beat that I have for King's Corner. So if y'all looking here and y'all trying to figure out what is that in the crown, all right, so that's King's Corner. That's that KC is King's Corner. And in King's Corner, it was really meant for my comic book channel and me sitting there doing some stuff, but I retweaked it and did something else because I wanted this to be the conversation channel, the live, the news topics, stuff like that. The comic book thing is so different. I got it. It's going to be so nice. If anybody saw Superman, blessings. I'm going to go see Superman today. So, yeah, it's something. It's a thing. It's a thing. But back to Drumstar making that beat. I got his last beat and I got bars from Dallas on it. I think Dallas and Drumstar collabo was crazy. And it was a time where I was an A&R, Cognito Rap, which is crazy. I had my own studio downtown in Midtown Manhattan where I had a talented producer there that his name was Frenchie. Well, his name is Frenchie, not was Frenchie. He went on in the business. I stopped, and I could have went crazy. I could have went different. But let me let you hear something that I heard this young lady, and I think she's talented. I think she's somebody that y'all want to hear. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think of her. Let me mute myself, and y'all let me know what y'all think of her. Right?
Nike, do the right thing. Fuck, I look like Spike Lee. You would never find a kid quite like me, so shut the fuck up. Can't say that nicely. Since a nigga on the road, call him dicey. Thinking that I want him cause he nice and he icy. Sorry boo, but the flex shit don't excite me. If I'm sucking off your straw, I want you sweeter than a Hi-C. Need a hype man, nigga come and hype me. Come and wake up all the people sleeping on my mic dream. But if not, I just hold on to it tightly. Nonetheless, think that I'm the best shit I might be. Better start ducking these bars cause they hit hard. I ain't like the hand I was dealt, so I flip card. Put them all on the table, hope that I get four. Know that life is a gamble, hope that I pick smart between the earth moon. If it was between the earth, moon, Jupiter, Saturn, I picked Mars after the first tune. Picked up a habit like Nick Stars. Hand me the microphone and I pick it like mixed arts. And they told me to watch my tone because this is how shit starts. I don't wanna love you, baby, I just wanna mix parts. And I'm sorry if you've been broken, I no longer fix art. This shit's dark and it's wicked, you better know who to pick with. Stomach touching my ribs, eat up bitches like I'm just.
On everything I love, she's fire. She doesn't look like she sounds. She's a kid. She's a kid. She doesn't look like she sounds. She's a kid. She's a kid with that type of flow. She's a kid with that type of flow. And when I saw it, I immediately said to myself, dear God, she's up. Lyrical is back, right? Lyrical is back. I personally feel that where we're going, we're past the low vibrational rap. We're trying to get back to something foundational. I honestly think that she is outstanding. Hollywood Rules, a $2 super chat. Saw Soups twice. Loved it. Happy Saturday, brother. Blessings. Yeah, me trying to read through shades ain't gonna work. You know, I'm gonna switch from the shades to the glasses in a second. We got topics that we do have to touch on. We got a lot of stuff that we're gonna touch on. Yes, that's not MC Light. You know what? I'm gonna let you see what she looks like. It sounds like an MC Light throwback, right? I'm gonna show you what she looks like, and you're gonna say, what? Yeah. Look.
Stacking up my checks, no Nike. Do the right thing. Fuck, I look like Spike Lee. You would never find a kid quite.
I'm telling you, we're at a point right now. Yo, young Nicki, right? Yes, young Nicki Minaj flow. You don't remember when Nicki Minaj, right before she got with Young Money, she was there. That's when Drake still had bony face. That's when he was wheelchair Drake. What was that kid off of Degrassi? That's when Lil Wayne was still rhyming like an alien. You know, that's when bars was bars. That's back when that was that. But we're at that precipice. We're at that point. We're at the point where y'all know what it is. And I know what it is. We got to get that intro work. Dudes don't be knowing the intro work. They need that intro work.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but you what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time. Told my boys to hold the line. line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
When I'm what they wanted, and I don't think they really want it. Really, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think I'm more that they handle. They can handle. I'm 100 proof. Yo, I'm a disgusting beverage for these ponies. And I know a lot of times, you know, dudes be like, yo, King, we don't want that console war and stuff, or don't get on Xbox Frontline News, and that won't happen to you. You understand? This is called Xbox Frontline News for a reason. Right? And we're going to address the things that people don't want to address. We're going to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about. We're going to hit the topics that kind of make some people a little bit uncomfortable. You know, like a lot of times people really think that we're supposed to duck smoke. Like, nah, B. I'll put in that work until that body hurt. You heard me? Pause. Y'all going to really figure out at some point in time that it ain't really about, oh, should we talk about the topics that are offensive to Xbox dudes? I heard one Xbox dude say, I'm not going to talk about something bad about Xbox. Okay. You don't. You know why I'm going to talk about something bad about Xbox? Because when the PlayStation is getting beat in the streets, because I'm what up, Lycos? Today, B-Leaf was good. The team was good. Today, I'm gonna give them that work. Now, you think they spinning the block like they got a dub? They saw Ghost of Yode and thought they got a dub. But I'll be remiss if I don't read the words of our sponsor today. Hold on one second. You know, a lot of times technology is really different. Now, sometimes technology can be as subtle as the glasses on your face. Could you imagine going to the airport and just having on some glasses and everybody just think that you're just shading your eyes from the sun, but you're watching your favorite movie? Now, let me tell you guys, a lot of people think that I don't get it, right? I don't go for that smoke, right? Like I'm going to run from whatever is out there. Nah, we're going to attack it head on. One dude told me in my comments, which was kind of strange, right? It was the weirdest comment that I had to read, right? Now, this is the topic, and I'm going to get to it, right? I'm going to get to it. I'm gonna slice through it like Swiss cheese, right? But he says here, and it is Bozo Zip 3994. I had a feeling you were going to jump on that Halo rumor just like you jumped on the Gears Reloaded rumors, saying that they ain't gonna have multiplayer. You are gullible, bro. Big gullible. Now, if anybody remember me calling out Paris, because Paris said that they weren't going to have multiplayer. He said it on ILP. Now, anytime you see me addressing a rumor of something, that's me talking about that rumor. If I don't like have a direct line with something, I'm just going to talk about the rumor everybody else is talking about. Now, the rumor is that Halo Combat Evolved remake, something I told you that they were doing a while ago that would be ready when a new console comes out. I told you next year the new console coming out. Everybody told you it's 2027. I told you it's 2026. Now, the damn soul told you it was going to be 2026 but me. Everybody told you it was going to be 2027, right? Stay on that side with them, right? And I also told you Halo, Gears, and Forza will be available at launch for that new console. I told you that. Now, I didn't know Fable was going to be available, but apparently Fable slips out of this year and goes into next year, right? Honestly, I thought Perfect Dark would have been done, but apparently that's canceled, right? Oh, for those people that like Blade, I heard Blade is safe. I heard Blade is like a safe thing. I value that it being safe as much as I value them telling me it started production in 2023. But back to Halo Combat Evolved. It's going to get the same treatment as the Gears. And the Gears had a multiplayer. Now, I don't know if the Halo is going to have a multiplayer. They're saying that it's not. And this is all rumors. Mind you, this is brought to you by The Verge. This is not brought to you by The King. The King does not have a website. Well, we do have a website. It's called lordsofgaming.net. But I don't produce articles for lordsofgaming.net because that will require me going out and doing Jason Schreier type work and getting sources and taking those sources and running those sources down and having 3 leads and figuring stuff out. I love the work that Jason Schreier does. I think Jason Schreier does fantastic work, right? I think Jason Schreier is one of the pillars when it comes to giving that investigational information. Him and Gene Park. I think Gene Park is the seminal voice of our time. The reason why I think Gene Park understands us as a gamer is because he is a true gamer, like through and through, 100%. I don't know how much Jason games. I don't know, and I can't question his credentials in gaming. But, as far as a journalist, I think he's by far my standard. You understand? But they talked about it just being campaign only, and I can get it. I understand it. Right now, Halo has a wonderful whatchamacallit. Let me bring that up, because a lot of times people think just because we're not playing that Halo is dead or something. Like, I beg to differ, Bucko. Like, I really want to tell you that don't feed into that BS. Like, that's not factual stuff, because I can show you something that will change that thought. They got extractions. Adidas 20, salute, brother. I just added you on Xbox. It is what it is. We're going to get it. More maps. To a game that is constantly evolving and changing. How can it be dead? How can something that you love truly die when it's constantly evolving and growing? Only the people that don't have it want it to die because they can't get it, and they think that we are supposed to just abandon it. That's not how this works. Now, does Halo Infinite multiplayer interfere with a multiplayer component being attached to Halo Combat Evolved remake? Are they built on the same engine? I doubt it. So it stands the chance that game doesn't have it, right? I mean, it's just deductive reasoning. It's not something saying that individuals are right or wrong. Dip Down an Anime member for 10 months. I salute you, Soda. Shout out to King. building a strong community. Blessings. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build what we have. Each one teach one. It was something that I had saw today, right? And I don't know. And you know what? I'm gonna get into that a little bit later because I just want to leave with that message because my wife asked me a question. She asked me a question. What's up, Black Kaiju? She asked me a question yesterday, which was kind of crazy because we was watching. She gets a chance to see me do my AI stuff. And if anybody was watching the other day, in the past couple of days, we got a lot of information based off of where Grok is going, where ChatGPT is going, where DeepSeek is going. And these language models is all trying to achieve one ultimate goal. We also got a chance to see Sam Altman. Hold on. We got a chance to see Sam Altman kind of cash out, right? He kind of cashed out in a sense that he made a big money move. This is the fight that him and whatchamacallit Microsoft is having. Like y'all don't really get it, right? And let me. I'm gonna show it. I gotta show it because you guys think I talk out of my ass, and the problem is I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help, right? But let me show you. Now, OpenAI's $6.5 billion purchase fuels Sam Altman's quest to build the next-gen computers for transcendental good AI, the biggest tech disruption since the iPhone. Let me tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to deviate from his contract that he has. What games am I currently playing? I'm going to get into my games that I'm currently playing in a second. But if you watch me on Frontline Gaming streams, the games that I'm currently playing are there. You'll see that I'm playing Death Stranding 1 Director's Cut. I'm going to finish that. And I'm also playing Demon Slayer 1. If you may notice right here, that goal is right there for me to bust Addict's ass in Demon Slayer. All right. So don't ever think that Demon Slayer ain't going to be a thing and y'all not going to see it. But I'm going to put in that work, make that body hurt, pause, and get a hold of Addict and work him over, pause. He gone, bro. Like, y'all didn't see me and him battle before. This stuff is going to be captured live on there. But Sam Altman is trying to be sneaky. He's trying to do a back end, if you will, around the contract that he has with Microsoft. See, because that $1 billion that he got from Microsoft when he got kicked out of OpenAI for doing allegedly nefarious things, the reason why him and Elon fell out. I'm gonna get into Gronk real quick, and because listen, this all means something. Don't think that it doesn't mean something. It means everything. It means something. It means something to us. All right. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking at what he's trying to do, and he brought that startup device. He brought he acquired the former Apple designer Joy Ives, device startup. What he wants to do is place it in a device that isolates it from the contract with Microsoft. See, he wants to keep AGI for himself because SGI is going to get crazy, and we're almost there, right? But if you got a chance to watch Grok, the Grok breakdown showed that it's at 16% of advanced supercomputing, right? And it's scary. But they're all chasing the same thing. Now you're going to say, all right, King, how does this transfer to us, right? And what was your wife talking about? My wife asked me, she asked me, because, I sit there and I meditate and stuff like that. And she asked me a question that I couldn't answer her question yesterday. I couldn't answer her question. And she asked me the question. She said, if God exists, and it was in a sincere moment, if God exists, Why would he allow this? Why would he allow this? Right. So
I'm just
hold on. I meditated on it. Now let me tell you how I get to it. If you know me, you know during the week I fast, right? I fast during the week. And when it gets to the weekend, like on Thursday, then I eat my meal. I eat my meal at like 2:00. And I just started that, right? I started that for probably 4 months now. All right. And that changes dramatically everything. But I've always been like seeker of knowledge or whatever the hell, right? Whatever that may be, right? Whatever that turns into. A lot of times people, don't go look. But anyway, so during my fasting, I'm sitting and I'm meditating because I didn't have an answer for her, but I wanted to have an answer for her. And the answer that came to me was this answer. Now, this doesn't mean you're smacking lips and awful lot, King Pause. Well, wait a second. You bugging. Stop it. Stop it, bro. You're different. I want you to hear it. This doesn't mean anything as far as where I lie spiritually or what religion I follow or anything like that, because I don't want anyone to I don't want anybody to discount the message. I want you to just receive the message and then do with it as y'all will, right? Listen.
Fasting, not optional for the believer. Don't get an out from fasting, okay? The evidence of that is in the most important sermon recorded in the history of the world, the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, and when you fast. That word when is a presupposition in which we are expected to fast. He didn't say if you fast. If is a clause that gives you an option. When is a clause that gives you no option. So when means you will do it, right? So when is a presupposition in the text that puts a demand on the follower of Christ to fast. Fasting is a powerful thing because what fasting does, fasting tells the flesh, I have authority over you. It denies the flesh what the flesh wants most, which is food and pleasure. And when the flesh is denied what it wants most, food and pleasure, it will groan until it is quieted. And once it is quieted, the real part of who we are, the spirit man, becomes strong and becomes more sensitive to God. And so not only that, but fasting is also a way to humble ourselves before God, especially in times when we need him to move in a particular area. So it also is a pathway to breakthroughs. When we fast, we humble ourselves before God and we say, I have broken my flesh as a matter of humbling myself before you. And now in my humility, I'm asking you to move on this behalf. And all throughout scripture, we see the people of God fasting and calling on God to move on their behalf.
So in that aspect, right, I sat there and I said, damn, I thought about it. I said, her fear, and I talked to her after she woke up because I went to work. I got up and went to work, and I'm meditating to myself, and I go to work, right? And listen, I know I'm probably losing a lot of you dudes, and you like, I ain't come here for this, King. I don't come here to be preached to. But for the people that do care and the people that do want to listen, the people that do understand, if you're a leader of men, or if you're a leader of your household, you call yourself the head of the household. As you go, so your woman will follow. All right, I want you to understand that as you go, your coven will follow. Your brood will follow. As you lead, so they will follow. So if I'm not leading properly, then I'm leading wrong. And if I'm leading you wrong, then I'm leading you astray, and that's not where we're going to go. But I came back and I explained to her, I said, listen, what I've noticed that through the meditation, I said, AI is the pursuit of perfection. And God made us in his image, but God also told us that we were imperfect. Right? So God told you in that moment, you are beautiful. Your beauty in the imperfection. And in that imperfection, we must know ourselves, right? So as they're looking outward to find perfection. Perfection lies within yourself. You just got to find it, right? So you got to quiet that noise. You got to meditate. You got to disconnect. You got to get within yourself to figure that aspect out, right? If we're only using 10% of our mind, could you imagine if we're using 90% to actually excel? And I said, that's the combat to it. Not to outwardly look for external things to quell what's going on or to advance certain things. All those answers are within us, but we have to go within ourselves. And I explained that to her, and that's the conversation that we had this morning as we was building. Blessings, only a hope. Welcome to Soldier S Rank. I salute you, Soldier. She reads the book of Revelations. What reading and interpretation is two different things. A lot of people have different interpretations of things that may not be actually, what it is. But that was just what I was going through and what I needed to talk about, what I felt that needed to be said. Now, maybe that needed to be said to somebody here. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know exactly everything, because I damn sure don't. But if it worked for somebody, I'm glad that it did. Because at the end of the day, if I can't use my platform to say something, then I'm just wasting space. Now, there's a thing that's going on. I want to talk about this because everybody doesn't understand this, right? They don't understand this. I'm afraid for this. Starfield missing expansion and Bethesda's silence is stirring unease. I don't think Starfield is tracking over at Xbox and Microsoft at the moment. I think Starfield quite possibly, and see, this is my reasoning for No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky needed to be everywhere in order for it to achieve exactly what No Man's Sky needed to be, right? So how can you say that your RPG is a generational RPG, is the greatest RPG of this generation, if it's not available to all? Hear me out before you get the pitchforks, right? Before the pitchforks come, before you say, King, you're too easy to give these games up. I'm not easy to give these games up, but it's something that I want to show you that makes some sense. Hold on. Something I want to show you that makes some sense. Forza Horizon 5 has already sold 3.2 million copies on the PlayStation 5. 3.2. What if you think Horizon, and this is no shade on Horizon. This is no shade on Horizon. But we're talking about Bethesda's, and he hates when I say this, Todd Howard, God Howard's Fallout in Space. We're talking about an RPG that you can land on gas planets. I'm my bad, man. I can't stop taking that shot. I mean, that shot is available for me. I'm gonna keep taking that shot. Pause. But this thing, in order to reach where it needs to be, Jay, you was telling me that Grand Theft Auto 6 was coming out this year. I think you need to stop with your predictions. You said Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming to Game Pass. No, it's not. Now, does Xbox have the marketing? I believe so. The reason what led me to believe that Xbox has the marketing for Grand Theft Auto 6 is two reasons. One, I predicted that it was going to be held back once I found out for sure that the new Xbox was coming out next year. I think they want that game to be played on a device that can actually handle that game. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if y'all looked at Ghost of Yode, and we're going to get into Ghost of Yode, I would think that Sony would put that game playing on the best device they have, and that's the PlayStation 5. So if that thing looked like it was chugging like it was, because it was chugging, all right? It had points where it was chugging, and maybe it wasn't optimized, and maybe it's old code, whatever the hell. You put it out, I'm just saying. All right. We're going to have to get Rapper out of there. Take Rapper and ban Rapper for life. I need y'all to ban Rapper for life. Whoever, the moderator that's in there, I need you to ban Rapper for life. Where's Rapper at? All right. Ban him for life. I'm going to ban him for life. All right. Yeah. Ban him for life. I'm your mother's favorite. So I want you to know that. And she spells it out every time. I'm her favorite. I'm her favorite flavor of ice cream. And trust me, I would have been your daddy, but the dog beat me to it. I believe that this game makes it over. Now, I also believe that Grand Theft Auto was held back based off of the console being available at that time. There's no rush for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out. More optimization is perfect. But getting them up to speed for another device that actually comes out, it will make sense to wait for that device to show it in its best light, right? And Microsoft understands perception is reality. You want that next console to be your most successful console as far as mind share, not market penetration, mind share. Mind share is greater than anything else that you think can happen. See, what PlayStation has going for it is a twofold. They have mind share. And the way they manipulate numbers, they have console numbers, right? Now, actual numbers and console numbers is two different things. And the thought to them actually being greater than is weak, but they have mind share. So in having mind share, you're able to manipulate the populace into believing things that aren't true. Like, you have a lot of people telling you that you have to rebuy your games when you get the ROG Ally, Xbox ROG Ally handheld. AKW could tell you that that's not a thing. AKW has my older ROG Ally. Shout out to AKW. Now, what I did do for AKW was when I sent over that ROG, I sent him numerous coins. He posted them. He posted the coins, and that was just a way for, that's what I do. Like if I'm shipping something to somebody or anything, slide them some coins. Shout out to Ben Kenobi. The coins that you make are fantastic, and I do believe in his process and what he has going. And he has some other stuff cooking, and we do have some stuff that we're working on, and we're going to be in collaboration with him on some other stuff. But again, that's Iron Lord stuff. But on Frontline, I believe that Ghost of Yode is glorified DLC. Now, I know people going to say, yo, King, you're just hating because you're an Xbox dude. And, hold on. And as an Xbox dude, you hate PlayStation. No, I don't. I have PlayStation. Right? I have it. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. And I want y'all to see this, and I want y'all to tell me. Now, we're going to watch this, right? We're going to do this together as a team. I think that Ghost of Tsushima looked great. Now, Ghost of Yode looks good, right? But what is this game right here that you're seeing in front of you? And let me know. Is this a game that you feel looks bad? No. Looks really, really good, right? So, in seeing this game that launched on the PlayStation 4, that was ported over to the PlayStation 5, that made its way over to Steam, had refinements to the engine on every drop, kind of pretty much changed through platforms, but pretty much stayed the same, right? This was a complete game, 100%. Worth it. Now, somebody told me that, Senua Saga is DLC. I said that wasn't full price and that was digital only. I'm talking about $70 here. We're talking about the price comparison to the product. I'm talking about $70 based off of a $70 purchase. Look at that. You see the mud that he's kicking up as he's running? You see the wheat field that he's running through? Look at it. Right? So technically, the game looks really good. Now, hold on. Still looks really good. Did this blow you away? No hate. I'm just going to a price point comparison. Price point comparison. See? Don't you think that this was something that was $40, something that they had as DLC, something that they could have got out the door with no problem? But I think being that they're stuck to this one game a year, one AAA title a year, I think that has locked their legs in a place where a game that would have normally in any year that they would have 2 or 3 AAA titles and they can price it comparably and make it DLC. And I think this has been so far out from Ghost of Tsushima and so separated from the story, you're not even going to say it's like a side story. Like a Miles Morales. Does anybody feel that Miles Morales was DLC? Remember when I was calling Miles Morales DLC and they actually told you that they used assets from the game and enhanced some stuff? And I thought Miles Morales helped out the development of Spider-Man 2. I thought Miles Morales was a perfect encapsulation of what Sony's strategy actually is. Now, I'm going to open up the chat for the people because I definitely want you guys in the chat. So I'm going to open up the chat for the people early now. And I know you guys want to jump inside the chat and give me the conversation because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe at this point in time, it's just me not seeing the game for truly what it is. And maybe the game does have some stuff that is very good. Maybe the game is showing to fans something other than. I personally don't see the other than. And it's just me. I'm not saying that it's not a good game. I'm just saying that it does look like DLC. It does look like it could have been priced at a comparative price. I don't believe that it technically needed to be at that price point. What's going on, Web Dave? Blessings. Oh, thank you. Oh, talking about the Derby? Yeah, baby. Yeah. This is my jizz joint. Now that's something that you don't use on a hot day. Be honest with you. If I wasn't inside the house, that joint would not be coming on. That's a wintertime hat. That's fur coat hat. Later on today, this whole tie is gonna change. Taking the wife out, we're gonna go catch a flick. So I gotta put on Superman blue. You know what it is. Linen in the summertime. It's a high vibrational material that allows you to conduct your electricity better. It feeds you, lets you breathe better. Now, the chat is open. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, I don't want to talk. I want the same, but I want new. I want a PlayStation person that is absolutely in love with this game to jump in and explain to me why you in love with this game. While we wait, this is something that I wanted to talk about and something that I heard about from somebody that's actually doing it, right? No, okay, wait, let me rephrase that. This is what I heard about from somebody that understands the nature of the projects. Multiple Fallout projects are in development, it's claimed. Now, let me tell you what I heard and what I understand. What I heard and what I understood was Microsoft got caught with their pants down when Amazon's Fallout TV show actually took off. They thought it was going to be like Halo, which was going to go to lukewarm results, don't really reach critical acclaim, and doesn't attach to the zeitgeist in the entertainment section. Well, what Fallout did was absolutely the opposite to that. What Fallout did was actually capture the zeitgeist, actually brought them back to the negotiation table for more episodes and more seasons, and actually fostered a whole new purchasing component when it came to Fallout. You have people buying Fallout Shelter on the handheld, on your phone, and you have people actually going out buying older Fallout games in order to get well versed with the universe, because they fell in love with the characters and the universe and the premise of the universe. Who knew that the world did not know about Fallout? Because we knew about it, right? Us gamers, we think the world knows the stuff that we know. They don't. They know what they know, we know what we know, and we're like students of our own situation, right? That lets you know sometimes 6 degrees of separation, you really need to start preaching the gospel of games to everybody else, right? Get as much people into games as possible. I think our generation is better. I think our generation is more coherent. When it comes to that, I think we do a better job at it. I think us as parents are going to be better to our children, because my mother told me that video games was of the devil and it served no purpose, that video games would not help me anywhere. Shout out to Japan. I'll see you soon. Enough said. And I always tell people, you can't kill someone's passion. I've been a video game junkie, to be honest with you, my whole life. It has been my drug of choice, my 100% safe haven, my component to meet new and amazing friends, my vessel to experience worlds beyond my imagination, my portal to actually have the opportunity to meet interesting and amazing people to learn more about the industry. Also, I got to give Laura Fury, I got to talk about it because she dropped a video the other day, and I got to say something that I didn't want my video to come off as bashing to her. So I gotta talk about that real quick. All right. Hold on. Jane 6 would extremely come to Game Pass probably a few years after launch. That's like, that's what? It's a game. The Last of Us considered the best game of its genre and is on PlayStation and is only on PlayStation and PC. The Last of Us is gonna make it to everywhere. If you don't think the PlayStation is going to do exactly what Xbox is doing, you just don't understand exactly what you're seeing. And the only reason why they haven't been able to do it as fast as possible is because they have Nixus and a couple of other studios that's going to port the games over. This is not, and don't get it mixed up. Them and Microsoft are two different beasts. You're talking about almost a $4 trillion company versus some billions. Sony is like 120 something billion, right? I believe like 900 something million yen or something like that, something wild. They're not in the same stratosphere. Like Microsoft is chasing dominance in AI. Sony is looking to use AI as an upscaler. Como? What? That's a child. Leave that child alone. Let that child do. When a child is able to do what the other kids are doing, then we'll get to that. Right? You thinking that they're in the same league, and you're probably going to say something infantile like, well, PlayStation actually is leading the whole industry. Como? How? They not ahead of Nintendo. Software and services, Microsoft is dominating them. So in hardware, they don't lead. Software and services, Microsoft leads. What are they the leader at again? Okay. Copying shit. Oh, that's where they're the boss at. They're the best at copying anything that they see that they think is okay. See, left up to their own devices, this Sony will play it safe. Go Coyote. That's a safe bet. Let's cash in our chips on people that we already know are there. But let's try to switch it up and make it sassy so we can appeal to a female demographic. I'm going to tell you that the females aren't going to be there for it. And if you think that you created a waifu, no, you just created a female Jinsekai. She don't look like the girl from Assassin's Creed, right? I'm being real, right? In Assassin's Creed, you have the absolute masculine and the feminine. You have Yasuke and the female's character's name escapes me because I'm a fraud. I haven't played that game after buying it and it's still sitting there. All right? I'm an absolute fraud. Please. But I'll get to it. But in that game, you have the masculine and the feminine, and they're able to show you basically what they're able to do based off of those two traits. She's stealthy. She's a little bit weaker, but she's faster. She's more agile. She's able to do this. She's able to do that. She's able to be a little bit more versatile with Yasuke. He is a little bit more stronger, a little bit robust, a little bit rougher. He's not able to do as much agile stuff as she's able to do. In Ghost of Yode, you take the masculine and the feminine and you intertwine them. And her weapons take on those characteristics of masculine versus feminine, while she's being the feminine, producing masculine energy. You understand? So they took that and that's what they did. So they're looking to cater to an audience that I don't think is going to be there. Be honest with you. Only true Ghost of Tsushima heads will be there. Only those starved guys who don't actually have any games that need a game is going to go get that game by a humble chance. But the casual audience, the casual people, no, that doesn't talk to them. Not at all. That's not a casual game. A casual game is Forza Horizon. Oh, a nice flashy racing game? That's it. That's what they're looking for. Gears is going to run it up on them bumps. So you got to really start to look at that being a casual machine and what their demographic is, what they're looking for. Microsoft demographic is a whole lot different now based off of what they're doing. Now, the bigger question is, can they survive just by producing one AAA title a year? I don't think them producing one AAA title a year is sustainable. And let me tell you why. Somebody had posted, and I caught it on my timeline, the real insustainability is, oh, thank you, man. Blessings, Kane. The real sustainability, question of sustainability isn't Game Pass. The real question of sustainability is these AAA titles. Sean Layden told you that AAA titles are not sustainable in their current form. When Spider-Man got hacked, Insomniac got hacked, Wolverine got hacked, and they held them for ransom. We found out how much the licensing cost was, and it's astronomical. Now, minus out the licensing costs. I heard wild numbers for Battlefield 6, somewhere in the realm of 400 million. That's not sustainable. Now, you're built, let's say Battlefield 6 is built in a live service game. And listen, all you Call of Duty dudes, you're going to come for me and you're going to say, well, Call of Duty does it. Call of Duty has the zeitgeist. Call of Duty actually has the mind share. You know Call of Duty is coming out every year. You guys go and invest tons of money this year, and you're going to invest tons of money next year because it's going to be a story that's going to get you from Treyarch to Sledgehammer to everybody else. You're going to figure out which team you like the most, which storyline that you like the like, and you're going to jump in either way. I don't think that Battlefield has that going for them. I think that 400 million is a death signal. Right? I think it's a death signal. The same way that I heard that EA has shelved all the Need for Speed games because that is niche. They cannot break through the way Forza Horizon broke through. Forza Horizon broke through off of, I don't know, sheer luck. It checked all the proper boxes every year, built a fan base, and actually release that game upon the world, releasing it first on the PC. So you had all those guys with the steering wheels, not controller dudes. A lot of the time, the PC dudes, listen, I can go to one of my cousin-in-law houses, and his name is Oscar. I didn't know he was a gamer until he asked me, because I had got a video card, and he had asked me, can he get my old video card? And I was like, all right, no doubt, whatever. Take my old video card. And I'm like, you sure your PC can run it? I got to his house. His PC's ridiculous. He had a whole chair for racing with multiple screens and everything. And I'm like, I didn't know he was into this. And we started building, we started talking. He's like, yeah, I've been doing this for years. So he actually went out to go to real racing. This is why I like that movie Gran Turismo, because I thought it showed that your passing can lead you to your true passion, which is something else. So video games is always a conduit to get you to wherever it is. Flight simulator, stuff like that. I'm going to tell you to keep going. I'm never going to stop your ambition. I'm actually going to tell you to foster that ambition and grow it into something. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do it today. If it's something that you want to go do it now. Don't wait. Right? It may not be perfect today. It'll be perfect at some point. But again, everything is a work in progress. You get there and it'll be what it's going to be when you get there. But anyway, those PC dudes, they do that. They steering wheel dudes. Us video controllers. So they opened up that game to those dudes. That opened up a whole branch of people. Right? And then PlayStation got it. PlayStation dudes is like, we ain't had nothing like this over here. It's up when Nintendo gets it too. When Nintendo gets it, it's up there too. I think the Switch, because, all right, what I see right now, dip down, that's no lie. Be obsessed with your passion. Oh, hold on, man. I did not see that super chat. My bad. It didn't pop up on my timeline. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. When I went to go ban that guy, it stopped my scroll. So I had to jump someplace else. My bad. Chris Chat, the $5 super chat. Love you, King. I feel like you're delusional. Same with the people in the chat. Laugh my ass off. You are desperate for an Xbox win. Why? Chris, you know the whatchamacallit is open, right? The Discord is open. You can jump in the Discord. The Discord is open. You can just hit the link in the description. You said delusional. First of all, don't use delusional for men. Men cannot be delusional. Right? We don't have the option to be delusional. There's so much dependent on us and actually moving forward every day in our day-to-day lives that delusion is not an option. So don't ever use delusional when you're talking to a man. That sounds like some real different energy. I don't know what you're following and what you're looking at, but change your verbiage when you're talking to a man. All right? So that part, we're going to get to that. Let's address that part first. Second, my opinion based off of my opinion don't need to be yours. You can just say I have a difference of opinion. And I can respect you standing on your opinion. Me desperate for a win. Microsoft and Xbox winning does not equate to me winning anything. I don't get a prize. I'm not going to the Game Awards looking for Xbox to win Game of the Year, PlayStation to win Game of the Year. If I didn't make the game, if I didn't produce or conduce anything to that game, I don't care. If you ever watch any of the Iron Lords award shows, I don't give a damn about the award shows. I participate because it's what the community does, and that's it. It's a big thing. I'm not saying it's not a big thing for gaming to actually have an award show that the world recognize. That's wonderful. Recognition to those studios that did that hard work, that put in that labor of love to actually make something that is going to fundamentally change somebody's life or opinion or set them on a different path or open them up to different variables, right? So I think that's incredible. But me looking for an Xbox win based off of the fact that they are winning, revenue tells you that alone. Matt Piscatella came out and told you software and services is up, right? Game services is up 0.6 billion for just a month. Microsoft did 5.7 billion for a quarter in Game Pass. So, and that's software and services. So what I would tell you is, instead of trying to invalidate anything that I say based off of facts that is verifiable, how about you take that, reverse that back inside and try to figure out why you're attaching yourself to PlayStation and thinking anything that they do is conducive to you gaining any win. It wasn't no gatekeep when you went to the store to purchase a PlayStation. I did the same exact thing. Actually, I did it before you. I know that for a verifiable fact because when people didn't have them, I had them. I was the one scalping, right? Hold on. In case you must have forgot, a lot of times you dudes think like I'm one of your dudes that, one of your basement dwellers that you like to watch that don't go outside. And another thing, the difference between me and your other basement dwellers, they rent, I own. Right? That's not a flex. That's just what you're supposed to be doing in life, right? When you get to a certain level, you're supposed to be doing certain things, right? But don't ever forget my peoples. Don't ever forget them, son. I want you to remember them. We the reason why. We was running it up on you bums. I want you to understand that. So don't ever get me twisted with something that don't exist. That stuff exists. Now, can we talk about the sales numbers? We can talk about Xbox actually tearing up the PlayStation ecosystem. Listen, if I know you're watching, and if you're watching, it says live Discord now. Jump in and debate. That's not there for show. That's for real. That's not there for no games. That's for real. That's the work that's available to you. So whenever you're ready, listen, I know sometimes jumping on a big stage is kind of scary for people. And some people aren't built to do that stuff. And I feel you. Listen, what I would tell you is I would tell you put on your big boy pants, right? That's what I would tell you. I would tell you put on your big boy pants and show up. I'm highly respectful. I'm incredibly intelligent. I'm versatile enough to allow you to speak first, to go after, or if you want me to speak first, I'll go first. So then you could rebuttal anything that I say. And you could use Chat GPT, you could use Grok, you could use whatever you want. You said, so you think that I'm going to read anything other than money from you when you can verbalize it? I appreciate you. I appreciate you sitting here watching me, because obviously you see something that inspires you to be better. So I'm glad that you're sitting here looking at me, telling me to do something that I refuse to do. So until you super chat black, I'm going to have to tell you, pardon my back. But let me see some exclusive stuff here, right? We had a document. Now, I was skeptical with crafting games. And I've been skeptical with crafting for... Nah, yo, listen, don't ban him. I mean, if as long as he's not cursing, you know, I mean, don't curse at each other. Let's be cool. You know, let's be nice. Let's be cool in there. Because listen, he's entitled to his own opinion. I want y'all to understand that he's entitled to his own opinion. He's entitled to have it. He's entitled to indulge in it, and he's entitled to be in his echo chamber and don't confront absolute truth. So whenever you do it, see, because what I'm willing to do every day is I'm willing to learn something different. So if you're willing to jump in and enlighten me on why my train of thought isn't proper, then I'm willing to give you the opportunity to show me. And I'm willing to accept and learn. By all means. It's a serious invite. It's not something that you're going to get in here and I'm going to lock the door. And no. You're able to. Now, what you choose to do with your day is up to you. I aspire to be something greater than I was yesterday. I aspire to be that. So yesterday you weren't on live. Be great, be bold, be different. Do something that you didn't do yesterday. Do it today. Nut up or shut up. You see, because the only thing a man has in this world is his word and his balls. And you don't break them for nobody. So, I'm just watching you. Anyway, Crafton confirms leaked Subnautica 2 dev document. Now, the drama surrounding Subnautica 2's development and the publisher Crafton continues to get more interesting by the day. Not only has the game been delayed and fired leadership are suing now, but internal dev document for the game has been made public. It first appeared that an unofficial Subnautica 2 Reddit that showed that the state of the game's development in May 2025 milestone update. After the document continued to make the rounds, Crafton set out a media release to address the legitimacy. As it turns out, the document is real. The document has been circulating on social media and reported by various outlets, and indeed part of an internal milestone review conducted by as part of the Subnautica 2 project. The publisher PR team said Crafton has confirmed that portions of it has been leaked and are now being widely shared across the online platforms and within the fan community. Crafton recognized these confusions and this has caused. But because of how rapidly the document has been shared, Crafton says it felt the need to address it and believe that transparency communication is necessary right now. You see, when somebody feels that they aren't being heard, they feel to jump right in and go handle that. You see, that's what you're supposed to do. They said that doing this will help minimize speculation and ensure accuracy communication with the players. The milestone reviews are conducted regularly in collaboration with Craftim's creative studios across all projects. They continue. These reviews help assess development progress, define clear objectives, and ensure each project aligns with Craftim standards in both creativity and quality. The process is central to Craftim's commitment to delivering polished, high-quality games at the right time. Let me tell you something. We see this leaked document, and this can only bring me back to one thing. It brings me back completely to Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark could have had that internal milestone review and was not up to snuff. And Microsoft said, for the good of all, it's time to cut the cord. It's time to take it off life support because it's not exactly what they wanted it to be. And I honestly believe that it was for the best in some circumstance. Because, listen, what Microsoft can ill afford right now is to produce a game that is not up to internal snuff, not up to standards of, let's say, Indiana Jones. I give you the closest one, right? Indiana Jones was a game that was made for exclusivity. And at the time Microsoft purchasing it, they thought that's exactly where it was going to go until the wording changed with the trial. The wording around that game changed with the trial. The game is released on Xbox. Internally, the game meets and exceeds all metrics. It's released on to PC and is released on, PC and Xbox same day, and released onto the PlayStation. That game receives critical acclaim through all three platforms. I think Microsoft wants to keep that consistency. Critically acclaimed here, critically acclaimed there, and critically acclaimed here. Eyeballs, revenue, right? What if Crafton's stick-to-itiveness to being stringent on their process of not allowing games to fall beneath an internal metrics? What if that standard is being held at Microsoft? We all ask for Microsoft to hold their studios to a different standard in order to get their Metacritic score, for people that care about that, Metacritic score higher than what it's been doing. And for all intents and purposes, all the games that have been coming out recently have all fell under the same guidelines and has produced in the same manner that is consistent with being monitored, checked, and looked. I believe Microsoft is on a good path. I honestly believe that their stringencies when it comes to making sure that developers adhere to these guidelines are well thought out. You see, you're going to hear people be upset with closures. Microsoft lost 9K. Xbox didn't lose 9K. Xbox probably lost, I think, tops like probably 600 people. Not saying that that's bad. But you will have mainstream media and individuals like Chris in the chat tell you that Xbox lost 9K. Well, that's factually incorrect. See, them wanting to have some type of win over Microsoft and Xbox is the part where I have to question the individual's motives, right? We have to really start looking at the disingenuous individuals that's playing part of this army of misinformationals that are broadcasting nonsensical things that people that actually partake in the ecosystem. A lot of times these guys don't have an Xbox. A lot of times they don't have Game Pass. A lot of times they're not part of. So being ostracized, and I realized the other day, the reason why the hate for Game Pass is so high is because that is the one true exclusive that Xbox has that PlayStation will never get. Game Pass is the exclusive that they will never attain. See, they will always be looked at as a second-class citizen in their own ecosystem, because when you can take Helldivers 2 and say, I would rather sell it to Xbox than put it inside my service to get more fighters, that tells you where your value lies in the company that you're champion. When Microsoft said, and Phil said it out his own mouth, I would rather find ways of creatively giving back to our consumers than squeezing them to get the last bit of juice out of them. Pause. That's a Sony tactic. Sony would sell you the same game 10 different times and change 2 pixels in each iteration. But also tell you that DLC is not DLC, and that's something that you should be championing, and it should be $70. They will also outright come out and tell you that they're only going to release one game a year. And you're going to be good with that, because money hatting is the way. We all see that that's not working out for them, because the games still come to Xbox regardless to what. Money hatting is just a short fix. It's like putting a Band-Aid on an amputee. Is that really going to help them? I'm serious here. We're at a point right now where you are mortally wounded and you're talking about putting on Robitussin. Nobody gives a damn. You're bleeding out right for the world to see. The reason why I know that you're bleeding out is because I don't know how many times you got to do a show, Ghost of Yode. The game comes out in October. Usually a couple of weeks before the game comes out, you have a state of play. But you're so desperate to get people involved and putting their money down in order to pre-order the game. This ain't it. Be more creative. Give back to your community. Respect them more. I believe that the PlayStation fan should be respected the same way that the Xbox fan is respected. That's why they hate Game Pass. You see, man will always hate what they don't understand, and they will always seek to destroy it based off of their own ignorance. Their own unwillingness to call out the hypocrisies that is going on right under their noses. How the hell are we going to get MLB to show in Game Pass and they would rather sell it to you? The level of mental gymnastics individuals choose to do is based off of their inherent biasness. I think that stems from a fact that you feel like you're part of a group. I'm telling you that this video game stuff is an isolated sport, bucko. It's pay to win. If you don't have the money, you're not in. And the fact that you feel that Game Pass is probably something that's not sustainable, maybe you can't sustain it because keeping a subscription service, maybe it's not something that you're able to keep up with. Maybe monthly payments isn't not something that you're able to do. Maybe a one-time purchase because you have to galvanize and sell and do whatever you got to do to get that money together in order to make that one-time purchase. And maybe you feel secure in that. But let me tell you, that lies in false security. When Nintendo's telling you they actively bricking consoles that they feel violates any policies within their laws, that lets you know that your validation in that plastic is actually weak. The fact that PlayStation, if somebody hacks your account and you call them and said your account has got hacked and somebody ran it up on you and they spend like $1,000, they will ban you and your account, and all those games that you had there are null and void, and you will never get a chance to get it back. I'm explaining to you that you are just a number. You will always be just a number, and that's okay. But start acting like a consumer and stop acting like a cultist. A lot of times when I'm giving you the ability to jump in, it feels that when you don't, you already conceded the defeat. You already felt that I was superior to you, either in intellect, either in versatility and linguistics. Maybe you feel that you're superior. I'm willing to debate that, and I'm willing to put that on the line at any given time. But being that I had the chat open and nobody jumped in, and I want to just say thank you guys for coming through. This is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, sometimes you may not want to hear what I got to tell you. And sometimes you will. You know, sometimes what I got to say is definitely valued by most. Not by all, but by most. But remember, today I said something, and today I brought something to you. And I want you to just hear this again. So if you're in this dark place and you just really can't figure out what's going on in life and stuff is not really looking right and you're not connecting and just things aren't really happening, put your phone down, close the door, go into yourself, pause, hear these words, abide by them, because sometimes in order to win, you got to lose a little. And if losing a little bit of what you crave the most is a short price to pay for you to ultimately win, maybe that's something that you got to do. But this is the message that was taught to me today, and this is the message I want you to hear.
Not optional for the believer. Don't get an out from fasting, okay? The evidence of that is in the most important sermon recorded in the history of the world, the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, and when you fast. That word when is a presupposition in which we are expected to fast. He didn't say if you fast. If is a clause that gives you an option. When is a clause that gives you no option. So when means you will do it, right? So when is a presupposition in the text that puts a demand on the follower of Christ to fast. Fasting is a powerful thing because what fasting does, fasting tells the flesh, I have authority over you. It denies the flesh what the flesh wants most, which is food and pleasure. And when the flesh is denied what it wants most, food and pleasure, it will groan until it is quieted. And once it is quieted, the real part of who we are, the spirit man, becomes strong and becomes more sensitive to God. And so not only that, but fasting is also a way to humble ourselves before God, especially in times when we need him to move in a particular area. So it also is a pathway to breakthroughs. When we fast, we humble ourselves before God and we say, I have broken my flesh as a matter of humbling myself before you. And now in my humility, I'm asking you to move on this behalf. And all throughout scripture, we see the people of God fasting and calling on God to move on their behalf.
So I want you to know that. I want you to sometimes notice, and I learned this very, very early on when I was doing 120s. Right? When I'm trying to master my 360. My 360 is my circumference around myself. Right? Sometimes you're going to have to give up things in order to win. I saw something like some of the richest people in the world. Not saying that monetary gain actually equates to anything. Some of them are minimalists. And when I'm telling you that you won't know by what they wear. You won't know by what they drive. You don't know by where they live. You would not know this. But based on what they gave up and what they, in order to receive, I think that's where the value lies. Right? So again, this is talking to somebody. Sometimes you gotta put down that bottle. Sometimes you have to stop going to these clubs. Sometimes you have to stop doing certain things in order to get to wherever you need to get to. But this is Xbox Frontline News. I love you to death. And I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Try to play the Game Pass. And I'm going to be doing that today. Right there, right, Bella? Yo, listen. What Bella does every time, she's right there. Every time I say try to play the Game Pass, she jumps up to me because she knows the show is over. She knows that, which is kind of crazy. But I know y'all going to get that glizzy, and don't worry, I got you. It's just something that was set up today. It didn't get set up right, and I had to get changed around. But again, listen, guys. Certain people will always be sent to disrupt the message. Don't ever entertain a clown, because in a